All right. Welcome everybody. This is our second meeting of 2024. Don't blink because it's going to be 2025 all of a sudden, right?
Mhm.
And really what we want to do is make sure that we make 2024, um, we use 2024 to as kind of like a stepping stone to where we want to go, right? And that we don't allow the year to just happen. I wondered if one of you guys would be willing to promote people for me because not being able to promote. Let me see here. Heather, I just made you co-host if you don't mind, please. Thank you. So here is our creed, right? Our little motto. Um, I will persist until I succeed. I was not delivered into this world in defeat, nor does failure course in my veins. I am not a sheep waiting to be prodded by my shepherd. I am a lion, and I refuse to talk, to walk, to sleep with the sheep. So I will persist until I succeed is what we are all about. We do not allow our current reality to derail our desired reality. And sometimes we look at our current reality and decide that our desired reality is not possible. And if anything, our health journey teaches us is that your current reality does not have to be your future reality, right? So wherever it is that you are in terms of your goals, wherever you are now, that does not define the possibility of where you can go. All right, so today we're going to be reviewing a little bit about this past weekend. There was the Impact Weekend. We're going to review a little bit about the streamlining, the new system we're using with vitamin C, some upcoming events, and a case study that I wanted to review with you guys. Now, as far as Impact, as you guys know, I don't attend events on Saturdays for religious reasons. So I have not yet had the opportunity to watch it. I can't wait to watch it. They're going to be sending us the recording, they said within 48 hours. So if you haven't watched it, I'm going to invite you to watch it so that we can share again next week. But Heather was on. And she, being the incredible leader that she is, was willing to come on and share a little bit of her takeaways. And so, Heather, would love to hear from you. What did you get from this weekend?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for asking me. I was not quite ready for this. I was like digging through all my stuff, but it was really good. If you guys have not watched it yet, make sure you do. I had so many notes. I had to kind of go back and say, oh, what are some of the highlights? But of course, listening to Dan Bell and Dr. A is always awesome. But some of the things, which I've heard this before, but for whatever the reason, it hit me a little bit more. Um, One of the things that was said was, if you don't take control of the circumstances in your life, somebody else will. And Dan Bell said, like you are working for somebody else. So, for example, like when my kids went through their car accident and stuff, now I was thankful that I did have a boss who was willing to kind of give a little bit more and give me some time off. But eventually, I needed to be at home because I had three kids going to different appointments, and that would not have worked well, honestly. And I cannot imagine when if I hadn't have gone PRN that I would have had the flexibility to do that. So it just made me realize like there are people that are hurting and that need what we have to offer from a financial standpoint. And I don't know, that just really made me very grateful for coaching and what we have to offer people to create change. One of the other things that was said was, and this was kind of, morbid obesity reduces a person's life by 11 years.
Oh my goodness.
And that's what I said. What?
Yeah.
Because family members that are there. And that's 11 years. 11 years you don't get to spend with your kids, your grandkids. 11 years, maybe you're sitting instead of out doing stuff. And that was a little profound to me to think of 11 years because, yeah, that's a long period of time, but it goes really fast. So, we are in the business of saving lives. For those of you that are on here, I'm coming from a nursing background. And that was one of the things I used to hear Shelley Hank say a lot. We are in the business of saving lives. So when you are thinking about approaching people and go to them with humility, I approached one of my friends who was really heavy, and I know he is morbidly obese. He has kids. He has a family. And I said, hey, would you ever be open to connecting or talking? So he said yes. So hopefully we'll see what we can do with that. Then they went on to some statistics with 55 to 60% of women retire with no savings or very little retirement. Men, it was 47%. I don't know about you, but have you been to the grocery store lately? It's crazy. And people are, I mean, just groceries are crazy, gas is crazy, and they're not getting healthy and they're spending more, and what we have to offer can help with that. They were also talking a little bit about the GLP-1s. I really liked listening to Nick. You want to talk about amazing, which I love him. I was on Team B a couple years ago. No, I'm just kidding. If you were at convention, you guys would get it. But anyway, he's very funny. But his thing was the future is bright and the obstacle is the way. And what he said was, we had all these changes in the last year with GLP-1s and just different shifts. But the truth of the matter is the shift isn't with those things because there's always been something. And he didn't say this, but I know like phentermine, which was used for weight loss years ago. There's all kinds of things. But the truth is, he asked us, think about this. What can we, or I, or you, uniquely do as an Optavia health coach for a client or for people who encounter our program? Think about that. What can you uniquely do as an Optavia health coach for your clients or people that encounter our program? Number 2, he said, what have clients historically sought us out for? I would like somebody to say, what have clients historically sought us out for? Somebody can come off mute. Feel free.
Hope.
Hope,
Weight loss,
weight loss,
income,
income. Anybody else?
Another way to do what they've already tried 100 times.
Yeah. Another way of putting it, hope too, right? And has that changed? Are people still looking for hope? Are still people looking for income? Are still people still looking for weight loss? Are people looking for lifestyle change, right? So why have they agreed to allow us to support them? Why did they say yes? What were they looking for? Or what did they find? Please feel free to come off mute.
solution,
Solution,
results,
results.
They saw that it was possible.
Saw it was possible. Why did somebody maybe specifically reach out to you, Christy?
Because they
Or-
trust me.
Because they trust you. Yes.
Because you have
Anybody
a
else?
relationship.
Because you have a
Yeah.
relationship. Mm-hmm. Has any of that changed? Okay. What do we provide that they really care about with our system, with the 4 tools? What do we provide that they really care about?
I think it's easy. I hear the word easy all the time, that it's not a complicated weigh, measure, journaling, weighing. It's simple.
So structure and simplicity. Uh-huh. Anybody else? What is one
results,
results? Yes. What is something that people have been craving? Craving. We keep hearing about.
Community.
Connection.
Community.
Yeah. Community.
Individualized support. You're not just that 88th person at the Weight Watchers meeting.
Right. Is that amazing? Are those amazing tools that people might be looking for? Right.
Sure.
So, he said, hey, we seem to have this disruptive shift in the market, right? But what he did say is they did a survey and they said, hey, if this was possible with the tools that we have, would you want to know more? And people were resounding, yes, tell me about the structure. Tell me about something with the community. Tell me about it all. So my question to you is, what has changed? If nothing has changed and people are still looking for what we have to offer, what has changed? What is the obstacle?
between the ears,
Yes. We are the obstacle. Those things are just things we get to go through. If it's not GLP-1s this year, it's going to be something else in a few years down the road, right? People are still looking for community. They're looking for support. They're looking for simplicity. They're looking for lifestyle changes. They're looking for one-on-one relationships. Do we still have it?
Yep.
And now we get to partner with GLP-1 provider LifeMD, right? So the question is, if you are holding back because you have in your head that nobody wants what we have to offer, what is the truth?
Everybody wants what we have to offer. They just don't know we offer it.
So what do we need to do?
Mm.
We need to be more bold. We need to share. We need to make connections. We need to love people. So that was like a summary of his thing. I thought it was excellent. Then Danae and DJ were really great. They went into our mindset again about the things we tell ourselves. They said something about the mother, father, preacher, teacher. Have you guys ever heard that? Like things you've heard from other people that get stuck in your head? Maybe from a mother, a father, a preacher, a teacher, somebody's slung mud on you, like Jamil would say. But they said what they wanted you to do is those negative words is they wanted you to take a piece of paper and write down on one side those negative things you have that says, can you see this? I can't tell. It says, I am not, and then write it down. So mine says, I'm not able. Okay, so please don't judge me, even though I'm a leader on this in this community. I'm not at my healthy BMI. I continue to struggle for that. I am not a good leader. I do not make enough connections. Like, let's just go into all the crap that goes through my head. Okay, that's the mud. But the truth is, I have the opportunity to put on the other side the things I am. And the truth is, I am equipped and I am a person of faith in Jesus. So I'm equipped to do every good work. That's my word to myself. I am powerful and I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I am motivated because God has put me on a mission field and a ministry that I want to live out. I am living my life on purpose because I want to hear, well done, good and faithful servant, right? And then they said, take this. I didn't tear it because I still had more to do. Rip it in half and then throw it away. And throw all the negativity away and remember all the good things. Throw the I am nots and hold on to the I ams. Okay. Thought that was really good. And then really liked this. And then I know I've gone a little bit longer, Donnie, but I really want to go through
Take
this
it away,
because
girl.
this was really good. Rick Menendez was on and he was talking about structural tension and he was examining our current reality. Does anybody really love to look at their current reality? Whether it's in your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your relationship health, your financial health. Am I the only one that doesn't like to look at that stuff? No. Okay. That makes me feel better. I'm glad I'm in a group of people that so he said, you know, the truth of the matter is your current reality is just that. It's just facts. It's just data, basically. And it's what you think about that is what's going to drive you or motivate you. But the truth is it's still facts and you can't change those facts. So he said we need to be looking at our current reality as if they're just facts. And then we need to understand where we want to go. Or no, he said, figure out where you want to go and then look and see where you are. So those are just your facts, your current reality. So basically he was talking about structural tension and it gave me a whole new, when I look at the structural tension chart, a little bit different view about it, honestly. Because that place in the middle where we have all these to-do lines, that's the gap, right? That's the gap. Where we are is our current reality on the bottom, where we want to get is at the top, but all this other stuff is the gap. And so he said, understanding your gap helps you to get to where you want to be. And it helps you to understand the changes you need to make. So I'm so sorry. If you look at your physical health, then where do you want to be? But also you need to know your why and why that makes that important. And we did that last week in Mission Impossible with vitamin C and stuff. But look at your business. If that is where you are focusing, think about leading with your health if you're not doing that well. And start leading with your health and start leading moving forward, understanding your gap. And you'll want to get with your mentorship, but understanding what are your next steps to get to where you need to be and just looking at it as data and facts. They also highly emphasized, not said, emphasized to use your structural tension chart. Look at it daily. Look at your map daily. Don't just put it away. I'm guilty of that sometimes. Sometimes it's very visible, and sometimes I put it to the side and it gets under some papers and I forget about it. And those are people that, for me, God has put on my heart. So if I'm not reaching out to those people, what am I missing? I don't know. But for you, those are, every one of those names is not a number. It is a person. It is somebody that is in, I'm saying this from myself. This is not something Rick Menendez said, but every one of those people in your world are there for a reason. They're in your sphere of influence for a reason. It is not by chance. So take it seriously. I'm going to cry. Love those people well. Connect with them. Okay. So there were 4 questions that they had. One was Lisa, which was somebody that was willing to work, that kind of went through things with Rick. What are the facts? So you guys might want to write these down real fast if you can, or make a mental note. What are the facts? Where are your gaps? So if you want to be FIBC and you only have 1 senior coach, maybe you have 0 senior coaches, you know you need 5 senior coaches and 15,000 in volume, frontline volume. No, or generational
Group
volume.
volume.
Group volume. That's it. Okay. So knowing what are the facts and what are the gaps, right? So what do you need to do to get there? If you know you need 5 senior coaches and you need 15,000 in frontline or your group volume, then how do you work towards that? What are the steps? You need to be asking people, hey, if I could help you with that, are you open to exploring what that would look like? Right? The more you fill your funnel, the greater chances. If there's 1 in every 5 clients that is a possible coach or is a coach, then look at your map. Who is that person? Finding out what they want, finding out what they're looking for, and helping to figure out how you can fill the holes in their canoe. Question number 3 is, how do I prioritize my time to get there? How do I prioritize my time? That means there may be some things you don't need to be doing. There may be some more things you need to be doing. And we'll get into that in just a second. Question number 4, what actions will I take to fill the gap? Again, going back to asking more people, finding out what the holes are in their canoe. How can you serve them? And I will tell each one of you, in my experience, don't think about what you can get, because when you are focused on what you get, instead of what you get to give to them, it feels icky and they can feel it. And my business had a huge shift when I stopped worrying about the outcome and just started loving people and thinking about them. And if you're in the middle of something and you're wanting, like, I want to get them, take a deep breath and say, help me love them. Help me love them well. Help me not to worry about myself. Help me to serve them. And then what actions, again, am I going to take to move the needle? And that goes back to, what things am I going to do more of and what things do I need to do less of? For me, I love people. I love to get out and talk to people. You can't get me to be quiet, as we can tell tonight. I've spoke for almost 20 minutes, and I love to get out and talk to people. So I've started going to an exercise class. I'm considering joining a gym. I actually may join a gym because at exercise class, everybody kind of takes off the last few weeks and they're like in and out. And I'm like, hey, I can't talk to anybody. Like, that's the best of both worlds for me. Talk, exercise, have fun. So figure out what your thing is. Connecting with people does not mean, and they were saying, you don't have to worry about, like, Facebook has been a tool, which is awesome, but people need face-to-face contact. Go have coffee. One of the things they had said she does is coffee and conversation at her house once a month. I'm like, I've gotten rid of a couple of my dogs, and my daughter got married and took them, and less dogs, less people. My house is pretty clean. Maybe I'll do that once a month. So, but think of ways, even if it's starting a walking group, or even if it's going to the gym, or maybe I remember hearing on one of our boot camps doing like a salad type thing where they all got together and she provided the dressing, and some people brought lettuce, and some people, I guess, is how it went. But
It was a salad in the jar, like it was a salad in a jar event.
Salad in a jar event. I couldn't remember exactly what it was, but find ways to connect with people. For those of you who are teachers, go in a few minutes early, maybe meet with a couple friends for coffee, or stay after for some, not coffee that late, but do you know what I'm saying? Find ways to connect. And you all have your own special ways of connecting with people. And just remember, it really is about connecting with people. And those were one thing, JC Dornick and Jameel Frazier. Oh, I didn't get into all that, but that was really good too. Because Jameel's awesome anytime. But JC Dornick, I think, was said, I don't remember if it's him or Jameel, but they said complacency kills. Complacency kills. So when we are not doing the action and we're not thinking about the people and we become complacent and comfortable, it kills. And it kills our businesses. It kills our relationships because we're not building those relationships actively. It's really important to be intentional. So Jameel said this, and I think of his book. If you haven't read it, 12 Shifts, really great book. But he says, no one is coming to save you. And I heard him say in my head, you got to do your own push-ups. Nobody can do your push-ups for you. Like, your mentorship can give you suggestions, but if you don't do the work and you're not going to do the stuff, it doesn't matter what they say or what they do, because ultimately it's up to you to put the action where the rubber meets the road. What have I told myself I'm okay with that I'm really not okay with in my physical health, my mental health, my financial health? Write that down, please. What have I told myself I'm okay with that I am really not okay with? I would like to be at my healthy weight. I've got some health things that are going on right now, but I'm trying to do the fat burn challenge, and I'm hoping that counteracts some of this other junk that's going on in my body, but we'll see. But I don't want to be where I am. I'm not happy with it, but I was telling myself, because I'm having these issues, it's just part of the process. It just is what it is. And I'm okay with that. No, I'm not okay with that. I'm not going to be okay with that. I'm digging in. I'm going to do everything I can to fight what's going on in my body, and I'm not going to cry. So do not negotiate your dreams with the voices in your head. Again, that I think kind of goes back to that I am not versus I am. And he asked, JC Dornick said, what really gets you out of bed in the morning? It's who you are that determines how well what you do is going to work. It's who you are that determines how well what you do is going to work. You get to decide. Okay. Guys, so much stuff. They also just reiterated, Patty Glick said, get crystal clear on your why. Get crystal clear on your why. I have written down my why, and I've been reviewing it every morning about my business why. And that is, I want to make my dash count. I want to live out the missions, the ministries, the passions, and the purposes that God's put on my heart. And that's my heart. And that's why I get up every day, because I don't want somebody to fall through the cracks. Am I doing it perfectly? No. I'm trying to be more and more intentional about being that person and showing up in those people's world. She said, get crystal clear on your why, write it down, use a vision board, visualize it, imagine what it's going to be like when you are there. Make a decision. She said, it's funny, I was reading a book this morning, and it's in the author said, whenever she wants to change a character trait, a habit, or something else, she asks herself, am I interested in doing this? Am I committed to doing this? Or am I interested enough to think about maybe doing someday? So my question is, have you made a decision? Have you made a commitment? Or are you just kind of interested? Because even if you're doing this part-time, you can still go at it with a full-time attitude and heart as a professional. A side gig can still be a you can still come in as a professional. If Lynn was working part-time as a nurse practitioner, which she may be now, I don't know, but is she still going to show up as a professional? Just because she's doing it part-time, or if she ever gets to where she does it 1 day a week, is she still going to show up as a professional? Lean into your support team. Oh, this was really good. I want to encourage you, if you are a Lone Ranger, lean into your mentorship. I still lean into Donnie several times a week at least. I couldn't even tell you. Some weeks is more than several. Okay. And for things that I feel like I should know because I've been coaching for 5 years. But she said, lean into your support team. Lone Rangers are not successful. Do you want to be successful? Do you want to be successful? And then the last thing she said was lean into your structure, get into your map, your structural tension chart. They're going to help you find a way. So I think that kind of pulled it all together. There you go. 15 or 20, 10 to 15 minutes, Donnie, turned into the whole 30. And I'm not talking whole 30 foods either. No, I'm just kidding.
No, and I just didn't want to overwhelm you with asking you to do the full 30, because anytime we do an event, it's like, oh, how do you whittle it down, right? But that was, oh my goodness, so much goodness, so much goodness. Oh, I was taking notes and I want to like debrief, but one thing that I heard today that really connected with what you said you reached out to a friend that's obese. Was that comfortable?
No, because I've known him for like 28 years and he's always been morbidly obese. And I think, reach out to my nephew, and I hate that, but he's got a son and he's got a wife, and that makes me really sad. 11 years is a long time.
So what I heard or read in the book, because I listen to my books, is if you want to get it right, it will feel wrong.
Mm.
And I thought that was really powerful, because so often we think that because it feels wrong, we're doing it wrong. But this
What
is the
did you say,
deal.
Donnie?
Something along the lines of, if you want to get to right, you must go through feeling wrong or something like that. It will feel wrong. Okay. And so anything new that you're learning how to do will feel wrong until it feels right. Right. And anything, so I just thought that was really, really powerful. So I know that we have like 2 minutes left. This is recorded.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot we were going to do the case study.
No, that's okay. That's okay. We can do it next week. I just want to review a couple of events that are coming up. First of all, and I wanted to answer any questions there are along the lines of the vitamin C. First of all, I want to thank all of you leaders that stepped up, because we need leaders to step into sharing, posting content value into Mission Possible. Okay. And so several of you have signed up for days. For those of you that haven't signed up for days, that doesn't mean that you're off the hook, because you are also a leader inside of Mission Possible. That simply means that you can reach out to one of these people and say, hey, I wonder if I could take your Wednesday. By the way, we are open Thursday still. We don't have anybody for Thursdays. So we would love it if you would take it. And this is not about you being creative and figuring out, what do I post? It's about you plugging into the resources that we're using for vitamin C. And I know that there were some questions last week, so I want to make sure that I answer all of them. When you see this date up here, this is the target date. So that means that this information here is to prepare for the 14th. Does that make sense? So we're now going to the 21st. Next one is the 21st. So we would look at, let me open up Mission Possible. Well, I'm not going to go there, but I have it pinned to the top of Mission Possible. It has like if you think of it, it's like an assignment. I don't want it to be like an assignment, but that's if you want to think of it that way. Okay. This assignment is due on the 21st. So therefore we're going to review it before, right? So the topic for this week is tips for success in weight loss. Okay. It's on element 12. So if you go to the pinned post on Mission Possible, it has the YouTube link, and it has, I think, I think it has two, and anyways, it has the links to the resources plus the element information. Okay. So as you're driving, listen. And as you listen, take notes of things that stand out to you. And when something stands out to you, then say, "Ooh, I'm going to go and talk about that inside of Mission Possible," and remind them to make sure that they listen to their thing. Okay. Remember, this is something I want to really, really highlight. I do not mean or want for you to review the entire 30-minute thing. Okay. Every 30-minute thing has a million nuggets that you can pick one from and say, that was really meaningful to me because, okay. So whatever that one, so for example, Heather gave us several of the things that she got. I am confident that in the 10, whatever 5 hours that the whole event was, she didn't review all 5 hours, right? She gave us a couple of nuggets, right? And so I would love for you to pick one nugget from what you listen to or read that for your day. So you can go live, you can post something, okay? And with us doing the fat burn challenge, I'm going to invite you guys to engage with that too, because what we engage with, others will too. Okay. So for example, today's task was to post your why and a picture of your lean and green. So if you haven't posted your why, even if you're not in fat burn, right? What is your why for your next goal? Because we never maintain, we optimize, right? So go in and put your why. And then if you still have your lean and green, or if you have the recipe or whatever it is. So each morning I'm posting like a task for the day, and I'm going to invite you guys as coaches to lead that out and engage so that other people will engage as well. Okay. Now, does anybody have any questions surrounding this whole vitamin C prep content into Mission Possible thing? Any questions? No. Okay. I want to make sure everybody understands. Then let's see here, share this. Okay. So, we're not gonna go. Okay. So we're doing the fat burn, right? And so the little challenge tip is going to the top. And then the other thing I wanted to make sure everybody knew about is that they're kicking off this Saturday a 6-week coach training series. And so I invite you to save the time, save the date. It'll be from 11 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern every Saturday for the next 6 weeks. Okay. And I posted that into Coaches on a Mission as well. Next Tuesday, we're going to be hosting the webinar, How to Get the Most Out of Your Medical Weight Loss. So we're going to be talking to those that are considering medical weight loss and those that maybe are doing medical weight loss. And we're going to address some of the common concerns, things like, how do I keep this weight off? And how do I get adequate nutrition? Okay, those are some of the concerns that people already have while they're taking medications. So we're going to talk about those. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, Dr. Michael Smith, he's the former medical director of WebMD. Okay, I hope to have all of the resources or pictures and stuff like that you can start promoting up by tomorrow. But definitely you invite your clients, let your clients know to invite their friends, okay? So that you can leverage this. So we're going to go ahead and do the case study next week, but I did want to celebrate Kristen because she posted very vulnerably. She said, I never thought I could do this. And I did it, and I would love to help you. And as of the last time I saw, I think she had like 50 some likes and people were loving it, right? So props to you, Kristen, for sharing. And what we're going to do is next week, we're going to talk about, so what do I do when somebody likes my page or my post or whatever? Okay. I know we've talked about it before, but last month we talked about a framework to follow, right? And so we're going to apply that framework to that thing. If you have any questions about that this week, please don't wait till next week. Okay. Kristen and I are communicating right now, but I thought it would be a great review for everybody else. What do I do if somebody asks? Okay. So Heather, thank you so much for sharing. If you guys have registered for Impact, I invite you to listen in and to watch it because, oh my goodness, I had goosebumps 50 times while Heather was just sharing her takeaways, right? So I can't wait to get into it myself. So with that, you guys have a good night. We'll see you back next week.